Well, hello there everyone, and today I'm going to do some cleanup, and this is where I am today, just sort of chilling out. It's actually quite nice. And open up the side door here. This is what I like to do. Go to a nice place, capture some snippets of sanity, and for now maybe do some cleanup because my floors are really dirty, and yeah, I've got my brush ready to go there, so I'm just going to, there's my rug. Yeah, so clean up, right? It's something that you have to do, especially in a small space, because lots of things sort of collect over time. The good thing is a majority of my time is spent outside the van, so I don't go to too many crazy places, like in terms of like muddy areas. Nothing trail. I'm not trail running in any muddy areas. Lately, the past few weeks, I've just been doing a lot of walking. But for today, I'm just going to relax. And what you see there is my coffee box. I made a video about it explaining what it is, but it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's essentially a place where I keep all my coffee and anything related to making coffee, or I think today I'm going to make some hot chocolate. Take this out of the way, kind of do this kind of thing. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, it's kind of shaky. And I'm not going to get into the finer points of how to clean your van. I think most people know how to sort of brush, but in this case here, I'm just going to brush the edges there. And about this floor, this was part of a remnant set of floors that I picked up. It was basically free. I mean, it was, I got it for nothing. Oops, sorry guys. I'm sorry if the camera is really bad. It's shaking because I'm kind of doing this with one hand, but I don't think you want to see me clean. So I'll just say it's clean. Now I think you can call this like my little hide, except I'm not hunting for anything. I'm just sort of hunting for a good scene or some good vibes. But if you look at this coffee box here, sorry guys, I'm sort of switching over in terms of the light and everything, but look at this coffee box. I'm just going to pull it, and you notice that I constructed sort of this platform, and at the end there is this sort of stopper, so that when I put that coffee box there, it doesn't sort of flip over to the other side. Like when I do this, I can sort of like kick it over there, and it fits just right, and I can put my feet here, or I can just do this kind of thing. Then I can look outside, and you could probably hear the diesel heater in the background, and it's loud, right? And this is where I would probably use my propane heater, my Mr. Big Buddy, right there. Oh, and there's the fire extinguisher. But for now, maybe I won't. But the thing is, there's got to be a bit of clearance here, otherwise I'm going to burn my legs. See, like that. So I usually put this seat forward some more. But in this case, I'm just going to use the diesel heater. It keeps it nice and warm. Oh, sorry guys. I'm really not very good with the lighting for this one here, because you know, the camera, it's a pretty cheap camera. Somebody had asked me, oh, what kind of camera do you use? I use a Samsung A50. It was the cheapest one available because it came as part of the package, and so that's what I'm using there. I mean, it's still better than what I used to have a long time ago. There we go. That's not bad. Mr. Single Shot James. Here we go. And we just go pan to the right. Yay! There's our light cloud. There are fairy lights. It's so beautiful. Really, I can look at it all day. And that's what it looks like. It's like so cool. It was really by accident that I discovered it. I just sort of like, I needed to stay up somewhere, and I just used this selfie stick thing, and I just threw it there, and I thought, wow, that looks pretty cool. Wow, check it out. I could look at that thing for a long time. So right now I'm just sort of lying down, and I've got just sort of like enough room on my left side as well. I'm just at the edge here. But you notice my feet are kind of dangling, and that's because the pantry, which is underneath my foot right now, isn't extended out. So I can look outside, but I can do this kind of thing. And then what happens is this pantry here actually goes out, and I'll see if I can show that to you. And here's the big reveal. This is the pantry. And you'll notice, and I think I mentioned in the previous video as well, that a lot of the wood that I used was either found free or near free. In other words, I pretty much picked it up where I could. For example, I think this pantry was made using I guess the pallet wood that you would get when you would get a skid or something, a pallet skid from a warehouse. And there was a fellow who was selling them for just a few bucks a sheet, and I picked up a bunch. It was pretty much free, and it gave me some extra ones because he didn't need them, so I picked it up and I told him what I was doing, and he thought it was kind of neat, and it was really nice of him to sort of give me that stuff. So that was really great, and I made this pantry box. And on the other side is stuff that you would keep in a pantry, like, I don't know, like jam and bread. This isn't jam and bread. And I can also remove it. So once removed, see, there's the foam. It's not really that nice. Once removed, I have this platform now that I could use to cook on, or just place anything like a coffee or a hot chocolate. And what we have here now is, what I did was I sort of unfolded or folded over the comforters and also the padding there, and you can see that this pantry has the door that lifts up, that then sort of connects up to that part of the build, and then allows me to extend this out, and that way I can get up to about almost 6 feet in terms of extra length for bedding. But for now, I'm probably going to use it just to sort of make some hot chocolate. No coffee for today. You know, but you have to admit, lighting plays such a big role in how film turns out. For example, I don't have a lot of lighting at this point, so you can sort of just see this shadowy figure behind me, but then you see the background, which I think is much nicer. Well, lovely people, it seemed that I didn't have the front seat, passenger seat, pushed in all the way to the front. So when I did that, I got all this amazing room. Seriously, look at all this room. It's a mansion. I love it. And there you go, and right there is where I typically do some of my writing, and I write and sip coffee at the same time, or even I sip hot chocolate. I'm talented that way. Okay then, so I set up my butane burner right here, and I've got my little pot there, and I'm going to start cooking up some amazing boiled water so I can make some hot chocolate. Boy, I'm trying to wonder how I actually do the lighting here. You know, that's something I really want to learn more about, lighting. And so for today, we're going to be I'm going to be having this rich and creamy carnation hot chocolate. It's like absolutely delicious. And just for the record, they didn't pay me to say that. I actually do like it. It's absolutely delicious, but of course, if they want, they're welcome to send me a whole bunch, because I could probably live off that thing. So I want you guys to sort of listen for a bit. And you hear that? In the background, that's the diesel heater. I'm going to turn it off, okay? One sec. I'm just going to do that now. And it's going to turn off very soon. And I'll be right back. So it's just turning off right now, and you can you might be able to hear it kind of winding right down. You might also hear some of the traffic in the background. the heater's turned off, and it's definitely much quieter without the heater turned on. I mean, for me at nighttime, I don't mind it so much. I've slept with it on, but you know, I get cozy and warm enough that I just turn it off when I'm comfortable. Then you wake up in the morning and it's like totally freezing, but you turn it back on. See? Simple. But listen to how quiet that is. And this is where I would actually then use this. Haha, you like that one, eh? Did that startle you? I'm good that way. But I would use the propane heater, Mr. Buddy, if I want to stay warm. I would turn it on. Obviously, I'd take everything off it, like the fire extinguisher. And then I would just chill out. Anyway, so what you could do is you could just sort of take this and pour it. Like that. And do this and turn it on. There we go. And it's on. And it's going to boil next, hopefully. See how long that takes. And I'll just look outside. Wow, but seriously, even at its lowest setting, and I have it set to low, and by the way, this heater is rated for indoor use. It's called the Big Buddy heater. It's not the typical Buddy heater. This one is rated for indoor use. Even at its lowest setting, I can already feel the heat. So whenever I run these things, I make sure that I do have some air circulation going through. For example, in this case here, I have the door open. And also, anytime you cook, make sure you have the door open. And the other thing is, make sure you have some kind of carbon monoxide detector. Oh yeah, I could feel that heat. It's very beautiful and much quieter than a diesel heater. And at this point, you know, it's like I open up my door and I just look outside and just do ponderous things, like ponder life and make videos like this one, right? And for this one here, you can already tell that my butane burner is running out of butane, so I'm gonna have to replace that. It's gonna take a while for it to boil, but I can sort of hear it. Listen. It's gonna happen. Well guys, so here I am. So all this time I've been I had the camera away from me and pointing to the rest of the van. And it's really nice out here. Just sort of, well, inside, but outside, because I have my side door open. And this is one of the things that I do to sort of capture that snippet of sanity. I think that's important. You know, if you're full-time van life, it's a completely different story when you're doing part-time. Like for me, I work full-time. And the reality for me is throughout the day, throughout the week, I need a time to sort of just decompress, a place or an area where I could just sit back and do ponderous things. Oh, and by the way, it's starting to boil. That's very cool. Okay, I'm going to turn it around again. And it's definitely boiling. It's also on its last leg in terms of the butane. We're going to completely empty it all out. It looks kind of neat when it's, you know, when it's boiling like that. See if I can. Boy, I really need to clean that butane burner. So let's do a bit of science here. Well, it's not really science, but you can sort of see the steam going up, and then you see that steam hitting the top portion, and then it's escaping from the side there. And you also notice that the frame to my side door there isn't complete. But anyway, that's why it's important to have something open. Get that steam out of there. You don't want things condensating too much. Get all foggy. Anyway, after a few minutes, it's boiled enough, and what I do is I just push it all the way back, and then I can put my mug there and then make my hot chocolate. And there's my mug. And I'm just about to put the hot chocolate mix in the mug here. Oh man, I just spilled it on my pants. Oh well. It wasn't a lot, so it's fine. Unfortunately, I can't show you everything that I'm doing just because I have it hooked up to the amazing selfie stick so that it's not shaking all the time. Well, a lot of people here today. Okay, so that there looks pretty good. We'll do the pour. Okay, and you know what? I should really show the pour because that's a pretty cool thing to see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here's the pour. And there you have it. Please support my channel by commenting and subscribing. It's free and it can help you with your own tiny home build, as I will be giving out free tips and tricks on how you can make it happen. And if you believe someone else may benefit, please share the video of my curated playlist.